Mr. President, don't you think it would be more advantageous if you refrain from becoming Speaker of the House? I mean, I'm in the Senate, so I can't tell you exactly what to do in the House of Representatives. But, Mr. President, I mean, we have Kevin McCarthy. He's a fine young man. I say that as I'm talking about his experience in the House. He's a wonderful person. You should just wait. You don't have to be. You don't have to go and run for Speaker of the House or become a representative someplace. That's a pay cut, and it's not something a person of your stature should aim to achieve. Really, Mr. President, I'm not trying to. Mr. McConnell, you know that you can always count on Mr. McConnell. You know that I'm always on your side, and you're always on my mind. You are always on my mind, Trump. But just understand something. It would be unwise and uncouth, and I don't think it would be good for the country or the Republican Party or the GOP if you became Speaker of the House and had to sit next to Nancy all the time, and it just wouldn't be good. So don't do it, okay? Okay, no, don't do it. Who knows? There might be another dossier. Pass the dossier. There might be some. Who knows what we'll do? We're going to try to prevent you from ruining our democracy even further. Oh my goodness, what am I thinking out loud? No, I'm just joking. I didn't really mean that. Anyway, you know you can count on me, Mr. President. I'm always on your side. And you're always on my mind. You're always on my mind.
Sorry I had to subject you to this, ladies and gentlemen. I am so sorry. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve this, and neither does President Trump. Basically, I don't think he's going to run for Speaker of the House, but he should. He should run for Speaker of the House. Below, you will see a YouGov poll. He's the most popular Republican president in recent memory. He's more popular than Reagan. He achieved great things. He has more achievements, just categorically more achievements than President Obama, and definitely more achievements than Bush. Okay? If you ask any morally superior, apoplectic liberal Democrat, name a foreign policy achievement, like President Obama's foreign policy achievement. You can't name anything. They won't be able to name anything. They'll say things like he was tough on Russia, which he wasn't at all. In fact, even Snopes says that he was the only person who could have vetoed the sale of 20% of U.S. or could have vetoed the sale of the Uranium One sale, but he didn't. And of course, that had absolutely nothing to do with millions flowing into the foundation from that company that was eventually owned by Putin. Anyway, President Trump negotiated a deal to get us out of America's longest-running military intervention and counterinsurgency conflict to bring Americans home. That phrase, that sentiment, that thought to bring American soldiers home is something that Democrats don't care about generally. Some Democrats do. The majority of morally superior liberal Democrats do not care about ending never-ending hawkish military conflict. Interventions. They don't care. It's not part of their radar. It's not part of what they consider as important. It goes in one ear, out the other. If you say, I voted for President Trump because in terms of foreign policy, he reduced our footprint, he single-handedly reversed U.S. foreign policy, and President Obama, in certain ways, was even more hawkish than Bush, who was the worst president we've ever had and completely destabilized an entire region of the planet. President Trump was the first president to step foot in North Korea, another achievement that President Obama and definitely Bush can't even touch. Both the leaders of Israel and South Korea have asked Biden's administration, and this is a fact, to continue Trump's policies pertaining to their respective countries in terms of the Abraham Accords and in terms of being the first president to step foot in North Korea. Then you had record low unemployment. This was a fact also. So in addition to reversing U.S. foreign policy, which is far more important in my view than even climate change, because climate change entails, to really combat or address climate change, you would need other countries as well. Everyone in this country could be driving an electric car, and you still wouldn't make a dent if the rest of the world isn't on board. And the majority of the world, or the majority of the CO2 in the world, comes from countries that will not be on board. That is also a fact. They don't care about the hysteria or the apoplectic response to what is considered an existential issue. Putting a whole bunch of countries within one location of the world that are nuclear armed becomes a powder keg and could end the planet tomorrow. In that respect, for limiting or reversing U.S. foreign policy from that perspective makes what President Trump did, or limiting our foreign policy, more important than even combating climate change, which is extremely important. H.A. Goodman believes that climate change is a serious issue that we need to address. Yes. Never-ending wars is even more serious. Okay? The doomsday clock was originally started because the planet could end because of nuclear weapons. But anyway, in my long-winded response or segments, as usual, McConnell does not want Trump. He almost certainly does not want Trump to become Speaker of the House. Neither does McCarthy. The link will be below. Kevin McCarthy laughed it off, and they don't want Trump. They don't want Trump. They don't want Trump anywhere near Congress. That's just the way it is. The issue, though, is that he needs to be front and center within the Republican Party, and if he just is a bit more diplomatic. I know that people don't like the word toned down rhetoric, but he needs to, lower the. He needs to simply make sure that what he says doesn't give political momentum to Democrats, because they get this Pavlovian response to Trump. Democrats almost start salivating when they hear something that he is alleged to have said, much less. I mean, they have made up quotes. Trump never said the pandemic was a hoax, ever. That is the definition of fake news. He never said that. And if somebody tries to find an article, they will eventually find out that he was talking about the media reaction to his response. The apoplectic, hysterical reaction to Trump is what caused the divisiveness and the chaos and the tumultuous presidency. It wasn't Trump. They had to create this reality show, and that's why CNN's ratings have tanked. That's why all these the liberal cable channels and viewers and readership on left-leaning publications, or publications that are essentially an extension of the DNC, they've tanked as well. President Trump should he should run for Congress. If you don't have to be in Congress to be Speaker of the House, he should definitely run for Speaker of the House. He needs to be front and center, but he needs to be strategic. And or strategery. If you're quoting Bush, and maybe did he say that? I don't even know. But Bush destabilized an entire region of the world. President Obama did not preside over record low unemployment, and he sent Americans off to even more countries. Trump single-handedly reversed U.S. foreign policy. That's why I think he's a fantastic president. That's why he is by far and away the most popular Republican president in recent memory. And that's why he should be the face of the Republican Party. But he should understand also that his words are going to be twisted and mangled and utilized for political momentum. If he can understand, if he understands that, the sky's the limit, and he can come back in 2024 as well. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now to this channel and H.A. Goodman's other channel.